आज ही डाउटनट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
This question it is given that if P vector denotes B vector cross C vector, Q vector denotes C vector cross A vector, and R vector denotes A vector cross B vector, then we need to show that A vector is parallel to Q vector cross R vector, B vector is parallel to R vector cross P vector, and C vector is parallel to P vector cross Q vector. Now we know that we say A vector and B vector are parallel if cross product of A vector and B vector is equals to 0. So to show that A vector is parallel to Q vector cross R vector, we need to show that A vector cross Q vector cross R vector is equals to 0. So let us evaluate this. Now this will be equals to A vector dot R vector into Q vector minus A vector dot Q vector times R vector. Now this will be equals to A vector dot the value of R vector is A vector cross B vector. So A vector cross B vector Q vector minus A vector dot the value of Q vector is C vector cross A vector. So C vector cross A vector times R vector. Now this is scalar triple product and it can be written as A vector B vector times Q vector minus, this is also a scalar triple product and it can be written as A vector C vector A vector times R vector. Now we know that in a scalar triple product, if we have a repeated vector, then the value of that scalar triple product is equals to 0. So similarly, since we have here A repeated and here also A repeated, so the value of both the scalar triple product will be equals to 0. So here the value will be equals to 0. So we got the value of A vector cross Q vector cross R vector as equals to 0. Thus we will say that A vector is parallel to Q vector cross R vector. Now similarly I will proceed to check if B vector is parallel to R vector cross P vector or not. To do so, I will find out the value of B vector cross R vector cross P vector. Now similarly this will be equals to B vector dot P vector times R vector minus B vector dot R vector times P vector. Now since we know that the value of P vector is B vector cross C vector, the value of Q vector is C vector cross A vector, and the value of R vector is A vector cross B vector. So I'll put those values here. So this will be equals to B vector dot, in place of P vector I will put B vector cross C vector times R vector minus B vector dot, in place of R vector I will put A vector cross B vector, A vector cross B vector times P vector. Now again, this is also a scalar triple product where B is repeated 2 times, and this is also a scalar triple product where B is repeated 2 times. So the value of both of them will be equals to 0. So this will be equals to 0. And finally, we'll also calculate the value of C vector cross P vector cross Q vector, C vector cross P vector cross Q vector. Now this will be equals to C vector dot Q vector times P vector minus C vector dot P vector times Q vector. Now I'll put the values of Q vector and P vector here. So this will be equals to C vector dot, in place of Q vector I will put C vector cross A vector times of P vector minus C vector dot, in place of P vector I will put B vector cross C vector, B vector cross C vector times Q vector. Now again, this is also a scalar triple product and this is also a scalar triple product. Here C is repeated 2 times and here also C is repeated 2 times. So the value of both these two scalar triple product will be equals to 0. So this will be equals to 0. And so we can say that C vector is parallel to P vector cross Q vector. From here we can say that B vector is parallel to R vector cross P vector. And from here we can say that A vector is parallel to Q vector cross R vector. And this is what we needed to prove.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT JEE मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनेट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।